Hello there and welcome to a bit of a different video. Now, as you can see, I've got a tier list and I've made this tier list for the items in Bad North. I'm going to make one about the starting traits, not the starting traits, they're just the normal traits you can get in the game as well. So let me know if you want to see that video, because I will make that. There's a link to this tier list in the description if you want to have a go with it. And make sure if you enjoy this sort of thing, you like the video, that helps me know you like this sort of video. Subscribe. Plenty of you aren't subscribed. I think nearly 90% of you aren't subscribed. So if you like Bad North content, perfect place to come to. I actually have another series planned. It's a bit of a secret what I'm going to be doing, but that's coming up. So if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed so you've got your notifications on. But let's get going. Tier list. So items in Bad North. I've played this game so many times. I've used all of these items a lot. I feel like I know quite a lot about them. Let's start off with the bomb, because the bomb is an item that I started off not liking so much. I found it really hard to use. You have to time it really specifically. And where would we put that? I think I'm going to... So I was debating, where do I put this? Do I put this A? Do I put this B? A, B, but I think I'm going to land on B. The reason I say that is it's because it's got a real difficulty spike to use it well. But if you can get it right, it's more like an A. And the reason I'm not going to put it in A is because you only get a certain number of uses of it. So I think you only get 2 maximum bombs. Now the bombs can be really powerful, and what they're really good for is if you have a big mass of enemies together. So when they all gather around a house, you can kill just about all like a massive wave with a bomb, particularly if you upgrade it to the 3rd level and it becomes really powerful. So it's a really good item, but as I say, you've got to time it absolutely right. And if you haven't got that timing right, it feels like a bit of a waste. You can also kill your own soldiers with it, which is kind of a negative, particularly if you're not very good with it. But yeah, in my challenge runs, I found this to be really useful, particularly early on when I'm taking soldiers with not many units to those islands. The bomb can come in really useful in those moments that you need to kill a lot of enemies. The way to use this, if you don't know, is particularly against something like archers, when you want to let them kind of come towards you, you want to pull back, you want them to gather around a house and start throwing the fire at the house. And when they're doing that, they're all gathering a big clump, and that's the moment you want to throw the bomb. So the bomb, I'm putting it in B. I think it's good. I don't think it's amazing. It could be borderline A. It just depends how good you are with it, but that's why I'm putting it for now. Now the next one, the Holy Grail. Now the Holy Grail, I would put between C and D. I think I'm going to place it in D. I might move it up to C. I'm not sure. Now, if you don't know what it does, the Holy Grail allows you to bring a dead soldier back to life, which it's like a get out of jail free card in this game. So one of your units dies, the Holy Grail was used. And the reason I don't like it is it's an item that helps you if you played badly. So it's an item that helps you if you failed at something. And ideally, if you're playing a computer game, you want to get to a point in which you're not failing, because at that point, you're going to be so powerful. The thing is with the Holy Grail is if you unlock it, you don't become any stronger. It doesn't make you stronger. It just helps you in your weaknesses. Now the only thing against that, and the only reason you maybe put it up to C, is you would say, like, if your best unit dies near the end of the game, say you've got a really good infantry unit or a really good archer with a really good trait, and they die, then you've got the Holy Grail to get them back. So there is an argument to be made to put it in C, but I'm going to put it in D. It's the least excited I get with any of the items. If I get that item, I'm like, oh, it sucks a bit. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you move it up to C? Maybe you think it's better. Maybe you think it's up here. I guess it depends how much you lose soldiers. If you lose a lot of soldiers, you might go, well, I really like this item, but I don't love it. I'll be honest. It's like, I think it's the worst thing to get in the game. So there we go. Right, next, the Javena. Now, I might be a bit controversial here. I really like the Javena, and And I was tempted to put it in A, and I think I'm going to settle with B with the Javena. Now, this is the reason I really like it. And in the recent video I made, somebody said, I think you made a mistake because you brought a soldier to the final island with the Javena. And he's kind of right. The Javena makes that unit weaker because the Javena doesn't actually make that unit any better. So unlike the bomb is like an extra item. It makes that soldier extra good. The Javena means that you can go to 2 islands on 1 turn. And the reason that I love this is because I go on so many challenge runs where I have to complete lots of islands early on in like 1 turn. Getting the Javena early is just amazing. It means I've got 1 unit that I can send to multiple islands. And if I get a unit that I've got a trait that I really like, say like Iron Skin, so that you get less damage, or the one where you replenish quickly, giving them the Javena just means that I've got this really good soldier that I can send to 2 islands, and so I can actually pour all my coins into that soldier, and I know they come into 2 islands, so I can straight away focus on them, make them an elite, and then I can send that elite soldier to 2 islands every turn, and that makes you so much stronger in this. So I think maybe arguably A, and the only reason I don't put it up to A is because it doesn't help you have more damage, and it does make that unit that has a really good ability not have an item. So I don't know, maybe you disagree with me there, maybe you put it lower down, but I really love the Javena. I think it's really good. Maybe people are sleeping on how good that item actually is, but I think it's really up there. Again, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I reckon there'll be quite a lot of disagreement about that one. I bet some of you will hate it and some of you will love it, because I think it's really debatable. It's also really rubbish if you get it late in the game. So if you get it as one of your last items, it doesn't help so much at that point. So I guess it's debatable when that's a good item. Okay, next one, mines. Now, I've gone through a love-hate relationship with mines. I used to hate them, then I kind of like warmed to them. I'm not sure I ever got to love, actually, to be fair. And what I'm going to do, and some of you are scared here, I'm going to put it down in C. I am going to drop it into A. And I was tempted not to, because I don't really like the mines, but a lot of you love the mines, and I think you've got a point. So the mines are really strong if you can use them right. And so mines are exactly what you might expect them to be. They are just mines that you place in the route where enemies can go, and if enemies go in that direction and they go over the mine blows up, and it blows up a lot of them. And if you can kind of funnel the enemies in a certain direction, they can be very strong. Now, with the proviso that the mines are only good if you upgrade them to the full level. They don't get really strong, and so early on they just knock enemies out, but the enemies get back up. So they're kind of quite good to start off with, but then when you keep upgrading them and you get to 4 of them, they become really strong. So I do think they become really good, and I think the fact that you get 4 of them becomes quite powerful, particularly like the last level. To have 4 mines is really a strong thing to have, because you can you get under so much pressure on that last island, and so you can kind of block off one route, send all your units to the other side. So they are strong. The negative thing about mines, and the reason I wouldn't put them in S tier, is that you have to funnel the enemies in a certain direction, and that isn't always easy on this game. It's quite often difficult to get them to go the direction you want them to go, and so therefore that's not great. And the other thing that's negative about the mines is that you can't place them on the shoreline. So when the boats come and they'll set off the mines too early, and then the enemies just get knocked over and they get up again and they come out their boats. They're not, so you have to place them inland a bit. I don't like that about them. Look, they're good. They're good mines, but they're not S tier. I hope that leaves some of you happy. Some of you be annoyed. I don't really care. That's why I'm putting them. They're almost higher than I think they should be, but I think I'm listening to some of your comments. Maybe you've got a point. Okay, Philosopher's Stone. How good is the Philosopher's Stone? I think this item, again, you might hate this. I think this is a C tier item. And there is a reason that you might put it higher. But just as a basic item, it's not that good. And what it does is it gives you extra coins. So if you have a unit with the Philosopher's Stone who goes to an island, they get an extra coin. And then if you upgrade them with 5 coins, they get an extra coin. So they'll get 2 coins per island. And if you spend 9 coins, then they'll get 3 coins per island. I barely ever upgrade this to the full level because I just don't think it's worth it. So every time that soldier goes to an island, they get an extra coin. If you spend 9 coins, you have to go to 9 islands with that soldier with that unit before you even get paid back 1 coin. It never makes a lot of sense to me. The only reason this becomes a good item, a really good item, like an A tier, is if you have the collector trait. And what the collector trait does is it gives you a 50% discount on your upgrades. And so if you've got the collector, this can be a really good item at giving you early game boost to coins. Otherwise, it's just a bonus. And I just don't think it gives you enough of a benefit in the game to kind of use a lot. It'd be great if you could kind of combine it with a Javena, but you can't because you can't have 2 items. Yeah, I just think the extra coins you get from this item are not really worth it. Unless you unlock it as a starting item, you use it as a starting item, you upgrade it with collector, and you get those extra coins all the way through the game. I think maybe in that case it's kind of nearer an A tier item, but just as a basic item, not that good. If you get it late in the game, not that good. You don't get that many uses of it. It's all right. It's better than nothing, but not that good. Okay. Now, Ring of Command. Where am I putting Ring of Command? I'm going to put this, and I debated between these 2 positions. Is it A, is it S? Is it A, is it S? And I think I'm in an R, and I thought too many of you would kill me if I put it in A, and I'm putting it in S. And I'm not sure it's an S. I think maybe it is. The reason it's an S is because if you put it on archers, the archers become insane. So what Ring of Command does, if you don't know, is it gives you extra soldiers. So your units become extra big, and they can be really big. So you get loads of men, and so with the archers, that's so overpowered. That archer unit can kill so much. The volleys of arrows are so powerful. You can knock off so many men. If you combine it with heavy weapons on the archers, it's just insane. If you don't believe me, go watch my archers only campaign or playthrough, where basically I had a unit with this collector's this item with heavy weapons, and they were just ridiculous. They could kill everything. So good. The reason kind of like that I might be tempted to put it with A is when in my infantry only campaign and my pike only campaign, I don't think this was that good. I don't think infantry with extra soldiers or pikes with extra soldiers are really much different than the standard unit. So it's only really with archers that this becomes really good, but I would say with archers it is really good. So I'm going to leave an S tier. Think it's a fantastic item to get, but just make sure you put it on archers, basically. Don't bother putting it on anything else, just archers. And if you do that, you will really see the benefit of this item. And when you do, yeah, it is pretty amazing. So I think S is about right. Right, Warhorn. Warhorn, I think, is... I don't know if it could go up to B. I would like to know your comments on this, and I'm going to drop it into C, but let me know if you like the Warhorn, because I always feel like it's not that good. I don't see the use. I never put my coins into upgrading this, and the reason is I always feel like it's a waste of coins, because the Warhorn, what does it do? It gives you can just call in extra reinforcements at like just a moment. You just say like, I want some more men. The first level you get kind of a couple, and then as you upgrade it, you get more men coming out of the house to reinforce your men. I think there is a trick that you can use with this, so you can get kind of more men than your standard unit. Somebody sent it in the comments. I can't remember exactly what they said to do, but there is a way you can get extra men. Or maybe that was the Warhammer. Or it might be the Warhammer. Anyway, yeah, the Warhorn just gives you immediate extra reinforcements, and that sounds quite good, and it is quite good, I suppose. But the problem with this is that most of the time in this game, you should be able to reinforce. If you get your timing right, you should be able to defend every wave with about 3 units. And so you should be able to rotate without needing the Warhorn. And so it's kind of like one of those items that's kind of nice to have, but realistically, if you play this game well, you shouldn't need it. And so therefore you shouldn't have to rely on it. Saying that, again, it's better than nothing. Is it better than the Javena and the bomb? Probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you love this item. Let me know if you've upgraded it to the full level. I think I've only done that once, and I just didn't really see the benefit of it. So there we go. You might disagree. I don't care. That's where I'm putting it. Right, finally, the Warhammer. Where am I going to put the Warhammer? I mean, this is I think the only no-brainer on this list. Like, you cannot debate to me where this goes, and that is straight into S tier. This is the go-to item that you want in this game. It is just incredible, and the reason it's incredible is because you can put it on anything. You can put it on archers, you can put it on a pike, you can put it on infantry. I've done all of those things. It works with all of them. It's not bad if you put it on any of those things, and it really does work. What it does is, like, one of your guys does a ground pound that absolutely shoots the enemy out into the water and they all drown and die. And that means on like anything, on brute archers, on brutes, on dual wielders, guys with shields, archers, like anything, this demolishes the enemies. And so you really want to get this. And I would say, if you can, you want to get the Warhammer and you want to put it with the trait energetic, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's energetic. And what energetic does is it means that your items refresh themselves quicker, quite a lot quicker. And so you can basically use this multiple times on the map. You don't run out of uses. You can just use it as much as you want. And so it can replenish, use it again, replenish, use it again. So that kind of puts it up there. You need to learn how to time it. It takes a bit of time to learn how to time it, but once you've got the timing, it's just awesome. You can shoot your own men into the water, but normally it doesn't really matter. You've won by that point. So that's where I'm putting it. That's my tier list. That's the items where I would put them. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree and the reasons why. That's my tier list. If you want to see my trait list, make sure you keep tuned in because I'm going to come up with that soon. And I will catch you next time.